Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. In the last class, I just started static. In this class, I will explain what is the static. First of all, I already explained in C language what is the static. Okay, in Java, we have the static concept we can apply for variables, methods, and blocks. Okay, variables, methods, and blocks. We have the static variables, we have the static methods, we have the static blocks. Okay, three kinds of. We come to the static variable. Okay, suppose in C language, no classes. In C language, no classes. Okay, suppose already I said that in C language, suppose void main. Okay, I will call the counter. Just a recap. What is the meaning of counter? What is the meaning of static? This is the main method. This is the counter method. Int I is equal to 1. Printf percentage d comma I plus plus. Okay, this is the program. Okay, in C language, this is not Java. Okay, in C language, no classes. What is the meaning of static? Static is a storage class in C language. Okay, now come to here. The first you will call the first counter, the counter function. Int I is equal to 1. Printf percentage d I will print the 1 value at first. Okay, print the I value 1. Once again, I has incremented by 1. Now I is equal to 2. Whenever the block has completed, counter function has completed, no I has automatically destroyed. Okay, I has automatically destroyed. Okay, then we'll call the next counter. The next one more I has created. Okay, the previous I already destroyed. This is the another I. Okay, what's the value of I? Once again, you will print the 1. Okay, next incrementing the I value. That is 2. Once the block has completed, once again the I has destroyed. Okay, then no I. Call the third counter. Okay, I once again I has created. Okay, now what's the I value? 1. Okay, what's the I value? 1. I plus plus, that is 2. That is also destroyed. Okay, what is the intention to write this program? We will get 1, 2, 3. But here we are getting 1, 1, 1. That means here this is the automatic variable in C language. This is the automatic variable. The life and scope of the scope and extent of the automatic variable is within the block. Once the block has finished, the automatic will no visibility for that variable. At the same time, that variable is not available. Okay, that variable is not available. What is the value here? 1, 1, 1. Okay, what's the value here? 1, 1, 1. That's all. Okay, now suppose how do you get the 2, 1, 2, 3 means simply you can apply the static. Static variable is created only once. Here how without static how many times the I variable has created? 3 times. But static variable has created only once. The scope of static variable is within the block. Okay, where is the static variable here? In the counter block. So in the counter function it has to be appeared here itself. It has to be visible here itself. Okay, but whenever the counter function has finished, the static variable should not be destroyed. Okay, the static variable should not be destroyed. The lifetime of the static variable is throughout the program. Program has not completed up to now. Okay, first we will call the first counter. Okay, this is the static int I is equal to 1 printf percentage d I, what's the I value? 1, I plus plus 2. Okay, it cannot be destroyed. Once the counter function has completed, return back to here the second function call. The static variable cannot be destroyed. Okay, that is the difference between automatic variable and static variable. It will create only once. Okay, up to the lifetime. What is the lifetime of the static variable is up to finish the program. Okay, up to finish the program. Now once again we will call the counter. What is the static? No, once again the static variable is not created. Only once the static variable is created. Okay, now what is the I value? 2. Okay, this can print the 2. Next I plus plus 3. Okay, then return back to here. I is not destroyed. Once again we will call. Okay, will come to here. Okay, the variable has not created once again. Okay, then printing the value. What's the value? 3. Okay, plus plus 4. Okay, this is the third function call. The program has finished means the static variable is also destroyed. The static variable is also destroyed. What is the scope of static variable within the block? What is the scope of the static variable within the block? What is the lifetime of the static variable? What is the lifetime of the static variable up to finishing the program? Up to finish the program. Okay, I set the example in the C class. Suppose in an ATM, early morning, okay, once you have to set the what is the transaction count is equal to 0. Okay, transaction count is equal to 0 at morning session. Okay, up to 6 o'clock in the same mission, how many number of transactions will be completed means that is the static variable. The transaction count is the static variable. Okay, so the bus has started from one point. Okay, initially the bus having the how many number of passengers means 10 number of passengers. Okay, the first of five members are up and 5 members are down like this up to 15. Okay, how many number of times the bus has stopped means that is called as a static variable. Okay, that is called as static variable. That means the static variable is shared. Okay, that is shared by okay, number of function calls. Here the static variable int I is equal to 0. Okay, that is shared by how many number of function calls? 3 function calls. How many number of function calls? 3 function calls. How many times it has to be created? Only once. Okay, only once. Keep in mind the same concept you can apply in Java also. Okay, look here. Okay, this is the static variable. Static index. Here I have one more non-static variable. Okay, one more non-static variable. This is the non-static variable. This is the static variable in the static class. Okay, this is capital. This is S is the capital here. Class name. Okay, S is the capital here. Now, then you will go to main section. Okay, then you will go to main section. Here, okay, don't concentrate on that is comment lines. The code has here I kept the code. The previous code, the code has kept in comments. Okay, now we'll come to okay, what is the how many instances are there in the static class? How many instances? Two instances in the static class. One is the static member, another one is the static and non-static member. Okay, non-static member. Here, okay, I will create the suppose I don't want this one also. Okay, here I will write it. Suppose main dot what is the class name? Static s is equal to static s is equal to new static. Okay, static s is equal to new static. Static s is equal to new static. Okay, static s is equal to new static. Now I will call s dot x is equal to 10 means s dot x is equal to 10 means definitely I will get the error. Okay, here s dot x. Okay, static members are shared by objects. No object having the static member. Okay, no object having the static member. Only okay the class having the static member. No object having the static member. Up to now, whatever you have written in your class, everything is also in the object. But static members and static methods, static blocks are not in the objects. Okay, not in the object. Static does not belongs to object. Static belongs to only class. Static belongs to only class. Okay, so you can access non-static member by using object. Okay, you have to access no error for this. S dot y is equal to 20, but s dot x is equal to 10 means you'll get the error. Non-static members cannot be accessed by the objects because of the object doesn't have the static member means how can you call it? How can you access it? If you have, you can access it. If it is not there, how can you access it? You cannot access it. Okay, if the object having whatever, okay, using object name, we will get it. If it is not in the object, how can you access? You cannot access. Okay, we cannot access. That's the problem. Where is the x here? What I said, the static member is not in the object. Where is the static member? That is in the class. Okay, that is in the class here. Okay, I will call, okay, I will write it here. What is the class name? Static. You will write it static dot. Okay, you will write it static dot x is equal to 10. Okay, static dot x is equal to 10. Okay, we'll write it. Okay, what's the here the class name? Static is the class name followed by dot. X belongs to static class. Here y belongs to object x. Y belongs to object s. Okay, in this statement, okay, this is x belongs to okay, static class. Okay, this is the calling of static member. Okay, this is the calling of static member. How do you call the static members? By using the class name, not this one. Okay, this is the calling of static member. Okay, how can you call the static members with the help of class name? Here, static is the class name. What's the syntax? The syntax is class name dot static member. Class name dot static member. Okay, this is the syntax. Class name dot classic name. Class name dot okay, static member. What's the class name here? Static is the class name. Okay, the member is the X. Here, static is not a keyword. Static is the class name. Static keyword is that is displayed as the color has changed. That is the keyword. This is the identifier. Class name is an identifier. Okay, this is as usual. How do you call this one? Y is not a non-static. Y is a non-static member. You have to call the non-static member with the help of object. Okay, with the help of object. Non-static members are calling with the help of object. Static members are calling with the help of classes. What is the reason the static members are calling with the help of class name means? Only the reason static members are not inside the objects. Okay, static members are inside the classes but not inside the objects. That is the reason we are calling static members with the help of class name. Okay, with the help of class name. That's it. Okay, with the help of class name. Okay, next. Okay, what are the things are available here? What kind of static here? That is static variables, static methods, and static blocks. Okay, whatever the static variables and methods, how do you call means with the help of class name only. Even static methods do not belongs to objects. Static means it's not in the object. Okay, that's not in the object. Okay, now we'll come to static methods. Okay, here I have the two static methods. Here I have the two static methods. Okay, simply I can remove these two. Okay, I will go to static class. I will go to main class, sorry, static class. Okay, here I have the one is the static member, another one is the non-static member. Okay, another one is the non-static member. Okay, for static member, okay, I can use one method that is static method. One more I have already said that in previous classes. The static members can access in the static blocks only. Static methods only. The static, if it is a static method, what kind of data you have to access in the static method? Only the static data. If it is a static method, you have to access only the static data. Non-static data cannot be accessed in the static methods. Static blocks also. Non-static means we cannot access it. Okay, non-static means we cannot access it. Now come to, okay, here I have the one static method. The syntax of static method is, okay, the syntax of static, what is the return type and what is the method name. Okay, before we return type of the method, just you have to write the static. Okay, otherwise you will write void static also, no problem, I think. You will write it void static readx. Okay, here I will write it void static read x is the method. I have to read the x. Okay, I have to read the x. I think this syntax is wrong. Okay, first we will start the static void read x. Okay, read the x value. Here, which is the static? This is the static method. Okay, this is the first one is the static inst. This is the static method. Here you can access only the static members. Which is the static members? X is the static member here. Okay, I can initialize x is equal to 10. X is equal to 10. Okay, x is equal to 10. This is the static method. Here, suppose here I can write it y is equal to 20. Sure, I will get the error. Y is non-static member. We cannot access non-static member inside the static methods. Okay, main is also static method. Okay, main is also static method. If you have the data before the main, that is static only, you have to access inside the class, inside the main method. The class having the static data, the data can access directly in the main method. Okay, the class having the instances, okay, the class also having the main method. Now you need to access those instances, non-static instances. You need an object. Okay, you need an object. In the main class, already I created the object of main. Main m is equal to new main. M dot x is equal to 10. M dot y is equal to 20. Very starting of the class. Very starting of the class concept. There you have to access m dot x. Okay, m dot x means what's the meaning? Okay, that is the m dot x means what is the meaning? That is x is the scope of x is in the object m. That's not a problem. So directly you can access x means that is you will get the problem. Okay, you will get the problem. Static members, non-static members directly you cannot access in the main method because of main is the static method. Not only there, if you wherever that if it is a static method directly you cannot access the non-static members inside the static methods. If you have an object in the static method, okay, no problem, you have to access. Okay, you have to access. Okay, here y is the non-static member, you cannot access it. You cannot access it. Okay, next I have to write one more, that is read x, read y. Here read y. Here y is equal to, here this is the non-static. Okay, I will write it y is equal to 20. Okay, y is equal to 20. That's not a problem. Because of this is the non-static. Suppose here I can access x is equal to 10. This is the non-static method. Here I want to try to access the x value, not static. Okay, in the non-static method, static variables we have to access. Non-static method, the static variables we can access. Static methods means only you can access static variables. Non-static members cannot be accessed. Okay, cannot be accessed. This is accepted. X is equal to 20. Here x is the static variable. Static variables are accessed. Okay, static variables are accessed inside the non-static methods. That's not a problem. Non-static members cannot be accessed in the static methods. Okay, here the static concept means sharing concept. Static concept means sharing concept. Okay, suppose withdrawal is a method. That's a static method or non-static method. In an ATM, withdraw is a static method or non-static method. Respond. Gunavardhan, Tabsam, Shreya, Hemateja, Suraj. In our ATM, withdrawal is a method. Withdrawal is a method that is static method or non-static method. That is static. That means withdraw is the method that is accessed by all objects. Withdraw is a method you have to withdraw from your account. Your account is an object. From your account you have to withdraw. If it is withdraw is the shared object means shared method means okay, all of you get the money from your account. From your account all of you get the money. All the transactions from your only one withdraw method. That's wrong. Withdraw is the non-static method. Okay, withdraw is the non-static method. Once do the transaction using the withdraw, the transaction count has incremented in the withdraw method means withdraw is a non-static method, transaction count is the static member. Okay, transaction count is the static member, withdraw is the non-static method. Okay, withdraw is the non-static method. In the non-static method, static member transaction count has accessed. That's not a problem. This is a real-time example. For this X is accessing in the non-static method. What is the real-time example here? Withdraw is the non-static method. In the non-static method, we have to access the transaction count. Transaction count is a static member, static variable. It is a static variable. You have to apply the concept. Otherwise, how can you increment the static? How can you increment the transaction count? You have to do one transaction, that is withdraw transaction from your account through the ATM. Okay, through the ATM. What kind of withdraw it is? It is the non-static withdraw method. In non-static withdraw method, okay, what can you access? Static transaction count. Once you have to complete withdraw, in the withdraw, the transaction count has incremented inside the withdraw method. Inside the withdraw method means this is the withdraw method. In my example, here the X has accessed. X is the static method. X is the static member that is accessed in the non-static method. Okay, that is accessed in the non-static method. Okay, that's the concept. Non-static methods can access static members also, but static methods cannot access non-static members. Okay, understand? అర్థమైందా? కాన్వర్స్ లో రాంగ్ అది. నాన్ స్టాటిక్ మెథడ్ కెన్ యాక్సెస్ Static members. Okay, non-static methods. Which is the non-static method here? Redux is the non-static method. Non-static method can access static member, no error. Okay, no error. Okay, suppose here I can write y. This is the static method. Y is equal to 20. You will get the error. Because of static method cannot be accessed non-static members. A static method can access only the which one? Static members. Static method, it is not in the object, how can you access? If it is not in the object, how can you access? Okay, understand. But non-static method can access static members. Okay, here this is the non-static method. Non-static method. Here X is the static member. X is the static member. Okay, you can access, that's not a problem. Here, this is the static method. This is the static method. Here, Y is the non-static member. Which is wrong? Static method, inside the static method, we cannot access non-static member. You cannot access non-static member, but in the non-static method you can access the static member. We are the kids. You cannot understand all these things. This is very depth concept. Okay, this is very depth concept. If you have the very important things here, you have to analyze non-static, which is the non-static, which is the static. Okay, which is the static. Okay, understand. Okay, now this is not accepted. Okay, this is not accepted. Now I'll write static display, static void display. Here I can access, I'll write system dot out dot system dot out dot println. Here I can access only the, okay, no need of static method also here. Void display, both I have to display. That is x and y. X plus y. Okay, you can access. Okay, in non-static method you can access both. Okay, you can access both static members and also non-static members. This is not a problem. 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, this is the static class. Okay, here the static class having the two members. One is static member, another one is the non-static member. Here I have the two non-static methods and one static method. Okay, now I'll copy this. Go to main. Have to remove all this, otherwise it can confuse. Okay, come to here. Here I will copy static class. Okay, come to, this is the static class. I need to call the display. Definitely I need the object. How can I set the redux? This is the static method. How can you call the static method? Is it in object? It is in object. Where is the static method? Write the static member or method, class or object. Where is the static members? Only inside the class but not object. Means here the readx is the method means how do you call this one? With the help of static. Static dot readx. Because of this is the static method calling. Not only members, methods are also calling with the help of class name. Static method calling. Okay, static method calling. How can you call the read by? This is in the object. This is the non-static object. You have to call with the help of object. Okay, with the help of object. Okay, read by is the this is the calling non-static method calling. Non-static method calling. Okay, non-static method calling. Display is the normal. This is also non-static. S dot display. S dot display. Okay, now run this program. You will get 10 and 20. Here x is equal to 20. Okay, I have to remove this. There is. Okay, I don't want to this one. This one also. Comments. Okay, now run this program. So, okay, 10 and 20. Okay, 10 has assigned to which variable, that is static variable. 20 has assigned to which variable, that is assigned to which variable, non-static variable. Okay, here y is assigned to non-static, y is equal to 20 is assigned. Y is the non-static variable here. Okay, x is the static variable. Okay, x is the static variable. Here, how will I call, how did I call here the static method with the help of class name? Okay, static dot read x, s dot read y. Okay, s dot read y. Okay, understand? Okay, you have to call the non-static means static means with the help of class only you can access. Okay, with the help of class only you can access. Okay, suppose you will write a program. You have a one static member. Okay, you have a one static member. Okay, you can create number of objects. You can create number of objects, and each and every object you have to call that method. You have to call that static instance using the method non-static method. Using the non-static method you have to increment or decrement or whatever you have to do, that is. Here the static instance is a, what is the static instance here? Static instance is a shared object, shared value. This is shared by number of objects. Okay, this is shared by number of object. Okay, suppose, okay, here read x. Okay, this is the static dot read x. Okay, static dot read x. How do you get that value? With the help of non-static method. Okay, with the help of non-static method, suppose I have one more. Okay, I will create one more object. Static s1 is equal to new static. Static s1 is equal to new static. Static s1 is equal to new static. Okay, here by using static dot read x, what is the x value here? What is the x value? X is equal to 10. Okay, x is equal to 10. The 10 has shared by s1 also. Okay, the 10 has shared by s1 also. You have to access that object s1 also in s1 object also. Okay, suppose I have one more method in the static class. Okay, that is update, void update. Void update is the method. Okay, here I can increment the x value. Okay, I can increment the x value. Okay, now we will call that by using s1 object. I have to call, after this I have to call s1 dot update. Update the non-static member. Okay, update the static member s dot display. S1 dot display, not s1 dot update. I have to use s1. Okay, in the s1 object, 1 minute I will tell you. Look here, in the s1 object, using the s1, the x value has set with read x method. This is the static method. X is equal to 10. Okay, s dot read y. Okay, this is a non-static member. Okay, s dot display. Okay, no problem. We have to get the both values. Okay, after this I will write it. Okay, no problem. S1 dot display also, not s dot display. Okay, look the process here. First, here I created the two objects. Okay, the readx method. Okay, readx method. What is the? This is the static method. Set the x value. X is equal to 10. Okay, x is equal to 10. S dot read y is equal to 20. Okay, y is equal to 20. Here I display s dot display. I will get 10 and 20. Okay, I will get 10 and 20. S1 dot update. Okay, from using the S1 object, I have to update the static member. What is the static member? X, what is the x value? 10. Okay, incrementing the x value. In the update method, here I am writing x plus plus. What is the x value? X is equal to 11. Now you will write it s dot display. Okay, you will get 11 and 20. You will get 11 and 20. Actually, where is the x? X is the global, that is the shared value. Okay, actually x not belongs to s1, not belongs to s and s1. Yes, the x is not belongs to s and s1 because of that is a static member. No object having, no object having static member. X is not in s, x is not in, okay, x is not in y. Sorry, x is not in the s1 and s2. Okay, here s1 dot display, okay, that has access 10. Okay, s dot display s that is not updated at that situation. X is not updated. What is the x value that is displayed by which object has accessed here? S dot display. What is the code here? S dot display means displays the method. Here I accessed in s object. I accessed the which one? X is the static member. At the same time, s1 dot update. Okay, fine. S1 dot update also. Here I can access S1 object also. Okay, here I access in the S1 object. Okay, I access in the S object and also S1 object. Okay, I access within the X object and also using the X object. Okay, just I call the what I access the value of X unprinted S dot display. Okay, after S1 dot update. Okay, after s1 dot update, the value of static member has updated x plus plus. Once again, I will call s dot display. Okay, what is the previous value of x? That is shared by s means now we'll get 11 and 20. Okay, the same value has displayed by same object and accessing in s object and also s2 object. Accessing means what is the accessing here? Okay, look here, come to the main. Okay, s dot display means in the display here I access the x. This is the non-static member. This is the static member. At the same time, s1 dot update, in the s1 dot update, here I access the x. Here I access the x. In two different objects, I can access the static member. In two different objects. Okay, in two different objects, if it is in x, if it is in s object, definitely I cannot change it. Definitely I cannot change it. I cannot access it in the S2. Suppose if it is in the X is the static non-static member, here I want to update, definitely I need the that is parameter argument as an object. Objects as an argument. I need the S object in the update method. But here no need of this is suppose if I want to, if X belongs to, very clear, X belongs to object S. If I want to update the X value using the S1 object means inside the S1 object I need the S object. I need the S object. How can I access the S object X? I cannot access it. Sure, I cannot access it. S object X I cannot access in the S2 object. S object X I cannot access in the S1 object. I need an object. But here I directly I access, that is the X plus plus. Directly I access. Suppose X is in the S object. Okay, here I will write it. That is static. Static, yes. Here I can write it S dot X. S dot X plus plus. Okay, S dot X plus plus. Okay, S dot X plus plus, you will get the X error. Because of X is the non-static, X is the static member. If it is non-static, okay, this is the procedure. You have to update one object data into some other object. One object data, if you want to update or if you want to access in some other object, okay, some other object, that object copy should have in your object. Suppose X and Y, two objects, X data can access in the Y means the copy of X is available in the Y. Okay, the copy of X is available in the Y. Okay, that is the different concept. Two objects are having the X object having the X, Y object also having the X. But here X is the static member means that is not in the objects. Okay, that is not in the object. That is directly you can access. Okay, directly you can access. That is no need of object S dot X plus plus. That's all. Okay, this is the shared object. That is shared object S dot display. Okay, in the display method of S object, access the X, S dot, that is S1 dot update. Okay, S dot, look here, the display method having the X. Display method having the X and update method also having the X. Okay, first one display method, that is S dot display. S dot, whenever you can call the S dot display, the shared value, which is the shared value here, X is the shared value accessed in the S object display and S1 dot display. Next one is S1 dot update means whenever I will call S1 dot update in the update method, okay, X plus plus, that is X is accessed in the update method. X is accessed in the update method. Once again S dot display. Okay, initially what is the X value? 10. Okay, S1 dot, who can update the S value? X value S1. Who can display the S value? S. Who can display the S value? Yes. Now we'll go to execute. You observe the output. Very easy to understand. You will get 11 and 20. Yes, 11 and 20. Before, okay, S dot display. This is the call S dot display. What are the 10 and 20? What are the values of X and Y? 10 and 20. Okay, after S1 dot update, what is the X value? X is equal to 11. Y is equal to 20. Both objects are accessed to X value. Both objects, S object and also S1 object, both objects are accessed. S object is accessed in the display method. Okay, S1 object is accessed in the update method. Okay, as per your procedure, s1 dot display having the x. Okay, s1 dot update having the x. Okay, both object does not have the x value. X is the global property for both objects. X is the shared value. X is the static, means that is the shared by number of objects. What are the objects are shared that x value? Here s and s1. You have to write one more s1 also, s2 also, no problem. That is also shared. Number of objects are shared by a single value. Share the single value. Single value is shared by number of objects. Here two objects, s and s1. Okay, S object has access to the x value. At the same time, by using the S1 object, update the x value. Okay, update the x value. Both object doesn't have the, here the important thing is no object have the x. No object have the x. Okay, first of all, the transaction count is equal to 10. Okay, at the time of I want to do the transaction count is equal to 10. Okay, transaction count is equal to 10. Okay, now S1 dot display. Okay, s1 dot display. What is the transaction count? 10. This is the another transaction, s1 dot update. Okay, s1 dot update. Whenever I will do the one more transaction, what's the transaction count? That is incremented by 1. That is incremented by 1. That is the 11. Now I have to see how many number of transactions. How many number of transactions? 10 transactions. 11, sorry, 10, 11 transactions. How many number of transactions? 11 transactions. Okay, before this is how many number of transactions here, s dot display, very starting 10 transactions are completed. Okay, I have to do one more transaction, that is s1 dot update. Okay, s1 dot update means this is the one more, just like a withdraw the method, withdraw method. I have to do the one more transaction. Okay, in the withdraw transaction, here I access the static variable, that is transaction count, here the x plus plus. Okay, x plus plus. What's the x value? 11. Now I can see how many number of transactions are completed. Okay, I will get 11. Okay, I will get 11. Okay, understand. How many objects are accessed to that x value? Two objects are accessed. Okay, two objects are accessed. This is about the static. The static variable is the shared object, shared value. The static variable is the shared value. The static method is also shared value. No object belongs to static methods. Okay, no object belongs to static methods. Only the static means inside the class only, but not inside the objects. But not inside the object. This is a very beautification of the concept. Okay, keep some data globally. The data can access by all objects. Okay, the data can access by all objects. Simple concept. Okay, I am the static. The SAR is the static. Okay, every student can access me. Okay, every student can access me. Yes or no?